Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a Silver Stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 21st day of March 2022, I'd like to welcome you over to JM Bullion so we can look at the live spot prices. Gold is up $1.58 to 19.3405. Silver is up 3 cents to 25.25. Platinum up 8.65 to 10.6258. And palladium up 65.50 to 26.3350. In stock silver, you're looking at 697 pieces. Now there's an article over here at the Nerdist.com under their science and tech tab, I guess. It says here, title of the article is The New Sally Ride Quarter Has a Lot of Symbolism by Melissa Truth Miller, dated March 16, 2022 at 4:16 p.m. And I will leave a link in the description for this particular article. Thought it was pretty cool. A new quarter honoring Dr. Sally Ride debuts March 21st, 2022. That's today, folks. So you'll probably be able to find those at the bank if your bank has already ordered quarters. The coin is the latest in the American Women Quarters collection. It highlights her trailblazing spirit as the first American woman in space and her advocacy for equitable science and education. Her life and business partner, Tam O'Shaughnessy, answers some questions from Nerdist about the artwork and the importance of Sally Ride's legacy. And there it is. That's really cool. United States Mint. But first, a quick summary of that legacy. NASA selected women to join astronaut training for the first time in 1978. Sally Ride and 5 other women joined 29 men in that year's class. Sally defended her PhD in physics from Stanford just days before driving to Houston to start training. She flew aboard 2 missions on the Space Shuttle Challenger. After retiring from NASA, Sally and Tom co-founded Sally Ride Science with the goal of encouraging all students, especially girls, in their STEM studies and careers. In recent years, NASA's astronaut classes are gender balanced, and the first all-female spacewalk took place in 2019. There you go. So I think that's pretty amazing, right? The first female spacewalk. Nerdist, how involved were you with the design on the quarter? Tom O'Shaughnessy says, the U.S. Mint contacted me to get permission for using Sally's name, image, likeness on the quarter. I, of course, thought it was a great idea and an important step for our country. Absolutely, indeed. Love that she was able to share that with us. Women need to be equally represented in all aspects of our society, including its paper money and coins. Absolutely. We created a licensing agreement, which included that I could weigh in on the 5 designs and approve all biographical material used to promote the Sally Quarter. The U.S. Mint was terrific to work with. See, I think that's so cool that they were able to work with this. I think something that's so culturally important like this should not be overly licensed. I think it should have a lot of leeway in that department. A lot of people would like to, use her to promote what she stood for, and what did she stand for? Well, let's find out, right? It says here, what are some aspects of the artwork that stand out to you? I think the design reflects Sally's dreamy view of the future and fierce determination. Yeah, that's so spicy. You gotta love it. Her face is hopeful and inspiring. I love that the artist, Elena Hagler, depicted Sally next to a window on the space shuttle. That's so cool. I don't know about you, but I always, well, that's really cool. Inspired by her quote, but when I wasn't working, I was usually at a window looking down at Earth, and that E pluribus unum, the model of the United States, meaning out of many one, is over the United States. So moving and inspiring. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm on an airplane, I'm looking down at the geography, the mountains, the rivers, the cities below, trying to point out, like if you fly over Los Angeles into LAX, you'll see the Hollywood sign. You'll see all kinds of landmarks. It's really quite incredible and I couldn't imagine what it would be looking down in the space shuttle in space. So anyway, moving on. Enough of that nostalgia, right? The name badge on her flight jacket just says Sally. Was it usual for astronauts to use first names, or did they mostly go by their last names? I think a name badge I think a name badge with just first name a la Sally was unusual. Sally was easygoing, and she likely just wanted her flight suit to reflect that. And that's so cool because, let's face it, when you are in that environment, you are normally known as your last name. I noticed the patch on the right side is a section taken from the STS-7 mission patch when she became the first American woman in space. Now check this out. This is very cool. Each crew creates their own special patch. Sally helped design the STS-7 patch. And so it showed one female symbol. That's right over here. Bam, right there. Ding, 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 ding. And let's see here. and 4 male symbols, as well as the positioning the brand new robot arm in the shape of a 7 for STS7. There's the 7. It's genius. Great symbolism, no doubt about it. How important is it to honor Sally Ride and other women in this way? It says here the American Women Quarters program is critically important to our country, and I couldn't agree more. Rarely have women appeared on paper money or coins. The same could be said for the National Statuary Hall in the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. Each state may contribute 2 out of the 100 statues. 9 of them are women. She said 9%. And of course, there are countless women who have made enormous contributions to our country in science, art, politics, law, business, education, sports, local government, and global activism, etc. And I would love to have her, the writer, the author here, suggest up a couple of them. That way they could have been used in the future quarters program honorees, right? So quarters program is important. It sends a positive message about how we value women. That is so, so, so true. And there's Sally in the cockpit of a jet, looks like. It says here, what are some of Sally's many honors that stand out to you? And it says here on November 20, 2013, President Barack Obama awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, which I accepted. Obama was smart enough and thoughtful enough to recognize my longtime romantic partnership with Sally. That day, that moment was our national coming out. So isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's just remarkable. Story of love, story of inspiration. It's all there. Isn't that great? So, and that's just beautiful symbolism. Way to go. So there it is. That's part of our story. That's part of our national quilt that we are weaving every day. So let's pop over here, the United States Mints, and I will leave a link in the description for that particular article. And here we go. This is a National Purple Heart commemorative coin. This is the landing page of the United States Mint. And I wanted to show you here some of the items on the American Women Quarters Program enrollments. So not available here, the first 3 products, and that's the 100 coin bags from Denver and Philadelphia, as well as the PD and the S set. Now, one of the things I was thinking about this particular quarter is that I don't think the United States Mint probably realized how important these quarters were at the time. In fact, we know, well, I'll get to that here in a second. Now there's the enrollments for the proof set, the enrollments for the silver proof set, and the ornaments are still available, as well as the 2-roll set, which is remarkable actually, and the proof set, which has the other coins as well. Now, bam. What's important here is tomorrow's drop, and that's the American Women Quarters, Sally Ride, that's what we're talking about here. And check this out. This is super important. I want to convey this right away. Is the 3-roll set has a mintage limit of 7,620, but if I go to the page available, it says 7,534. Now, back to this landing page. I think this quarter is going to be probably the most important in the whole series, and I think it's going to have this one and Maya Angelou are going to have the lowest mintages, I believe, of the San Francisco quarters. In fact, I would think that the Wilma Mankiller quarter, the next quarter drop that's coming out, part of the American Women Quarters program, will have probably a few more San Francisco bags and rolls than Maya Angelou or Dr. Sally Ride. And if that's the case, that'll be quite remarkable for the people who are holding the American Women Quarters, Sally Ride, and Maya Angelou S rolls. It'll make them probably even that much more valuable. And that's why coin collecting, is so tough sometimes, because we need perspective, and we can only get that perspective when we look at the larger picture of the mintages that are coming out that year, and that doesn't happen usually till the following year, right? So there's a lot of things going on, and if we are too close and too narrow with our scope, we might miss out. We might miss out big. In fact, let's go here, too narrow of a scope, right? Let's go to eBay, and there's some new listings for this particular quarter, and I do believe that these will be inexpensive, comparatively speaking, to what they're going to be selling for in possibly a year's time. I think we could easily see these selling at the levels that the America the Beautiful quarters, American Samoa quarters, and the Tuskegee Airmen sold. Now, these are the new listings. Look at this. And I don't blame them for selling at this price, because the other rolls, the PD and the S for Maya Angelou, I think are selling for this much as well. Like I said, you need perspective. You need more time to look at the mintages of all of them and then compare them, and then you'll probably get a more reasonable price. 115, 115, 135, 130. Like I said, this is pretty standard, and I think people are going to be surprised once they do come out tomorrow that this is going to probably go up by a lot more. 47, 199, 117, 2 bids. So yeah, there you go. It's really interesting. Now, the next one I wanted to show you here, bam, is the American Women Quarters in ornament enrollment. And this is 4,360 per woman. And if you look if you look at ornaments online on eBay, you could find ornaments for 50, 60, 70, 80, $100, some of them. Okay, so if this one's $30.95, what does that tell you? If these could easily go for $50 online, and there's 5 of them, that's easily $250, right? Well, check this out. Here we are, United States American Women Quarters ornaments are already up for sale at $250. And I would think this is the least expensive you're probably going to find it, at least reasonably speaking, anyway. But kudos to this person for having enough wherewithal to get the complete set going. Now, there it is, folks. Let me give you easy for me to say. Let me go over to the plus one today, and it's one of my favorite bands since ever, and that's Aerosmith. And this is the music video here, Aerosmith Dream On, with lyrics on screen. Pretty fantastic stuff, folks. Anyway, there it is. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. And if you are going to get those quarters tomorrow, good luck to you. I may or may not get them. And if you're asking why, well, I had a new credit card. My bank card came in over the course of the week, last week, and I only just, my wife activated it for me. And that's the one I had set up for my enrollment. So my enrollments may or may not go through. So I'm really excited about tomorrow, especially the emails I'm going to get in the morning. I may or may not get these. And if I don't, oh, I'll be so bummed because I've been talking about it for so long. Anyway, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I hear. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear, say please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker, out.